From the four corners of this land we call America the Beautiful, here is a fascinating look at the world around us. RV trips of adventure, discovery, and beauty to find some of the most beautiful and unique places, people, and events on American Odyssey. Join us now as we leave the freeways behind and head for the back roads of America to discover what's just beyond the next bend in the road. To see dinosaurs, high mountain passes, historic old forts, and the Grand Tetons is what the scenic highways of America have to offer those who dare to venture away from the beaten path in Utah and Wyoming. And that's what I mean when I say, why, oh, why did I ever leave Wyoming? Why, oh, why did I ever leave Wyoming? Well, I suppose it was so that I could return to Wyoming from Salt Lake City, where we happen to be right now, along the most scenic route I could find. Leaving Salt Lake City, the Mormon temple, heavy traffic, and all the hustle bustle of urban congestion behind, we head east towards Vernal, Utah, and the land of the dinosaurs before we turn north for Wyoming. Let me introduce myself and acquaint you with my way of backroading America. Hi, I'm Rudy Schroeder, your host on American Odyssey, touring the back roads of America, looking for the beauty and adventure that there is to be found just about everywhere. You can do it in a $250,000 RV if you like, or you can do it in a station wagon and a pup tent with the kids. Either way, it's beautiful. The scenery doesn't care. You can wear a cowboy hat. You can dress grubby, because nobody's going to see you but the cows and the sheep, if there are any. Over 100 million years ago, this was semi-tropical marshland where dinosaurs of all kinds roamed and lived here for about 160 million years. That's 158 million years longer than humans have existed on this planet. And this was a good time and place to roll that thought over in my mind. Right here at the Dinosaur National Monument, where time seems not to exist. This is the place where, in 1776, even before the ink was dry on the Declaration of Independence, the Spanish explorer Father Silvestre Vélez de Escalante and a party of 14 explorers crossed the Green River as they looked for an easy way to reach Monterey, California from what is today New Mexico. Dinosaur National Monument, a few miles east of Vernal, is shared by Utah and Colorado, but the Dinosaur Quarry and Visitors Center is in Utah, 7 miles north of the small town of Jensen on US 40 near the Colorado border. This is the dinosaur building that was built to protect the dinosaur dig from the elements. This Stegosaurus tells me we're going to go back in time 145 million years. These creatures shown on the walls of the Visitors Center are an artist's representation of what this area might have looked like over 100 million years ago. The word dinosaur means terrible lizard, but dinosaurs were not lizards, and not all of them were terrible. Scientists used to think all dinosaurs were cold-blooded. But today, many scientists believe that at least some of the dinosaurs developed a step beyond reptiles and were warm-blooded. We gave them names like Plateosaurus, Allosaurus, Ceratosaurus, Stegosaurus, Tyrannosaurus rex, and Ultrasaurus, to name a few. Ultrasaurus may have been the largest of the dinosaurs at over 100 feet from nose to tail and weighing more than 80 tons. It was large enough to look over a 5-story building and walked on 4 pillar-like legs, each one 20 feet tall. What happened to them 65 million years ago brings forth some interesting speculation which we won't go into at this time. The fact remains that 65 million years ago, their carcasses washed up on an ancient riverbank, which is displayed here for all to see and ponder. This is absolutely incredible that this bone has been here for 140 million years, and I'm touching it. You know, I think you have to let your imagination wander a little bit to really appreciate what you see here. 140 million years. Well, that's older than I am. And this was an Allosaurus. They were 35 feet long and some weighed up to 3 tons. The Allosaurus was a fearsome meat-eater that was built for speed and had jaws that were hinged somewhat like a snake's so that it could swallow huge chunks of flesh. Maybe it's just as well that man wasn't around at this time. I was amused by the street names in the small town of Dinosaur. Well, it was getting late, so I found a nice RV park in Vernal. I didn't see any signs of life as I looked around until I looked down at the volleyball field. North out of Vernal, Utah on US 191 is a drive that is absolutely beautiful. Rather than rushing through on our way to Wyoming, I chose to pause along the way to admire the beauty. Trees, how pleasant they are. My God, what would we do without them? I take time to look closely at every tree because each one is a miracle. We all live under the same sky, but we don't all have the same horizon. Out here where the trees brush the skies, that's my kind of country. The beauty continues. Good heavens, I'm running out of superlatives to describe what I'm seeing. I guess by now it's pretty apparent that the journey to a destination sometimes is better than the destination itself. Now, that's not to say that we won't see more beautiful country as we approach our destination. It's just that it's a different kind of beauty. This rugged land displays spectacular scenery where the Green River cuts through the Uinta Mountains, leaving fiery red cliffs as high as 1,500 feet among twisted rock formations and sweeping panoramas. Peeking over the top of the red cliffs of Flaming Gorge, at last, Wyoming in the distance. It was in 1842 that frontiersman Jim Bridger built the second settlement in Wyoming. In 1849, It was bought by the United States as a military fort to protect the thousands of pioneers traveling the Oregon Trail. How about a military salute?
I'm sorry, you have to salute me first.
Oh, I'm an officer, though.
Outranking Lieutenant Colonel?
At one time, there were 16,000 Mormons traveling through Wyoming on their way to Salt Lake City, with stores, schools, laundry facilities, and real houses with real furniture. Fort Bridger must have seemed like a wonderful metropolis to weary travelers. In the 1850s, thousands of European immigrants, too poor to own animals, pushed hand carts across the 2,000 miles to their expected promised land in Utah. Many walked through these gates. Some didn't make it this far. While at Fort Bridger, I met a pleasant couple. Sandy Gregory was minding the store in the old part of the fort, and I had a nice chat with her.
Yeah, the Oregon Trail came right along down here, kind of dipped down and came to this post, and then the branch of it split off and went to Oregon, and then the California and Mormon Trail took off and went right out by these buttes.
I'll be darned. Nobody's using it now, is it?
Yeah, there's still some people that travel the Oregon Trail. We get a lot of them come through here each year. They travel it with bikes and with wagons and with horses and on foot, with a car as much as they can.
You ever been to Oregon?
No, I haven't yet. I got the trip planned though.
You're just on your way, is that it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got this far, and
you stopped at Fort Bridger, and that's as far as you got.
Yeah, I met Jim and fell in love, and that was the end of my travels.
Hi. Dick Gregory, Sandy's husband, tried to teach me the art of axe throwing. I was a lost cause, so I changed the subject and let him tell me about the old revolver he was showing me.
This is a 36 Patterson, which was the first revolver put into production. Actually, it was developed for the Texas Rangers to fight the Comanchero. And you see there's no hammer there. We just pull back here on this, and there's the trigger.
Oh, I'll be darned.
And then that comes back up in there.
A few hours drive north on US 189 brought us into the heart of Grand Teton country of western Wyoming. What beautiful mountains, these Grand Tetons. The quiet beauty of the Teton Valley we were traveling through was suddenly displaced as we entered Jackson Hole and found ourselves smack dab in the middle of a good old-fashioned Western parade. Doggone if they don't have pretty girls in Jackson.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm the school marm. We work a little differently out here than most places.
Do you? How about if I come back to school?
Oh, well, we might let you in.
You wouldn't let me out, though, would you?
Probably not.
This one was complete with all the requirements of a good parade, including kids of all kinds. A porta potty, good music, Shriners, and Indians.
Give them a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Now, I love a parade, and in a place like Jackson Hole, you're gonna find a beard growing contest, that's for sure. At the time, I had a beard, but I couldn't compete with these guys. In fact, at the end of this trip, I shaved mine off.
One more chance on jumping the gun. Ready, gentlemen, at the ready. 1, 2, 3.
The quick draw contest looked more like a Keystone Cops movie.
Cool. On the ready. 1, 2, 3. Taking your time, gents.
If some of these guys had been around 100 years ago or so, they'd have had a free pass to Boot Hill. The ladies got into a little tiff over the bar girl contest. You know, they both look pretty good to me. I'd even settle for the loser, I don't mind.
How about the lady in red?
There was a dance being held at the fairgrounds that evening. It seems to me that folks out west really enjoy dancing, and these cowboys and cowgirls were no exception. Western swing dancing is becoming quite popular all over the country, and it's the kind of dancing I like to do. Sometimes it's even more fun just watching and listening to the music. They were good, both of them, the dancers and the music. Now, folks, you got to remember, this is Wyoming, and the folks out here are not drugstore cowboys. They're the real thing. Over on the other side of the valley at Teton Village is where the tram is located that will take us up to Rendezvous Mountain for a look at the top of the Grand Tetons. On the way up, I wondered what it would be like to be here in the winter to try the slopes on my new skis that I bought last year. Well, let's see. The first thing I'd do is a little moguling, and then some nice easy runs on the advanced slope. Well, I can dream, can't I? Alas, this was summer. There was some snow left on the mountaintops, but not enough to ski on. The magnificent view made up for it, and you could reach up and just about touch the sky. This has got to be one of the greatest winter ski areas in the world. Too soon it was time to head back down to see what man and beast were doing at the Mountain Man Rendezvous at Teton Village. It was a little hard to tell who was who. This is an annual Mountain Man get-together and a chance to sell some homemade trinkets to the tourists and just get together for fun and tall tales about the Old West. Not that they have lived those days, but most of them really know their history. I met an Indian woman that had the wisdom of the ages in her heart and the love of life in her soul. She was so full of love for all things that I felt like giving her a big hug. There are no shortcuts to any place worth going. There was no shortcut to Jackson Hole, Wyoming. And even if there was, I'd rather take the scenic route. We are all participants in life, not merely observers. Nature itself is a living organism, and we are as much a part of nature as a leaf is to a tree. And thus, it seems, nature has made us seek her. The better you understand nature, the better you understand yourself. Life is too short to spend it waiting for something to happen, so go out and make it happen. But be careful. You never know when you're making a memory. Our motorhome travels along the great scenic byways of America the Beautiful are with two purposes in mind. The first, I will admit, is a selfish one, to personally enjoy the majestic beauty of the world around us and at the same time enjoy the friendship of fellow RVers. The second is to bring the Dinosaur Lands, Flaming Gorge, Jackson Hole, and the Grand Tetons into your living room so that you may share all the beauty and fun with us on American Odyssey.